Zoning in. Precise, complete, and informative. This is your talk show, Zoning In with Deshelle, Annette, Christina, Elizabeth, Kenisha, and your host, Kenisha Davis. Zoning In, your dose of fresh thoughts.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome again to another exciting episode of Zoning In. Today, I have on my panel Miss Annette Blake. She's a financial advisor. I have Miss Tashel Christian, who is a social worker. I have Miss Elizabeth Wright, a theologian, and Miss Christina Williams Gray. She's a relationship counselor. Now, today, guys, we're not in studio for you to see our beautiful faces, but you will be hearing our beautiful voices. You can call in at 601-4520. That is 601-4520 to take part in the discussion. Now, today's topic, investment strengthens families and builds a strong Christian life. Now, as soon as you hear the word investment, what would come to mind is something monetary, some kind of money you're putting in something in order to get back something. But aren't there other things that we can invest in? I'm sure there are many other things we can invest in. For example, our families. We can invest in families. We can invest in our children. There are a lot of things that we can invest in. And simple things like eating dinner together with the family, tucking your children into bed, reading a story to them, creating family history, but using traditions, planning something together. Those are simple ways that we can invest in families. But I'll not do all of the talking. What I'm going to do, I'm going to allow my financial advisor to give you some information on investing. Miss Annette Blake.
Thank you, Miss Davis, for having me on your show. So what is a financial advisor? A financial advisor provides financial advice or guidance to customers for compensation, for, an exchange. So you gives me $500 to invest and you're expected to get a returns of $550 per se. It is important for families to set aside money each month for investing, as this will keep you from spending that money unnecessarily. Investing your money demonstrates a concern for the future and a discipline that could make a difference during a time of financial crisis. So by now, you should have heard enough about investing to be interested, about putting aside some money. Everywhere you turn these days, there are some ideas of investing, partners or savings, or we have all some things that are going around. They're called the looms or pyramids. Everywhere you turn, we are hearing about investing. And it is something for us to consider. There are various types of investment to choose from, but I'm going to focus on 4 that are predominant within our current population. For those who aren't exactly keen on trying to decipher the lingo of the financial sector, I will do my best to break down the following types of investment. So we have common stocks, and we have preferred share, and we have mutual funds, and we have corporate bond. So what is a common stock, you might ask me? Common stocks are referred to as shares, a security or equity. And it is basically having a part in a company's portfolio. So then we have preference shares. And what are preference shares? Preference shares is also commonly known as preferred stocks. These are company shares with a fixed dividend that is paid out to a preferred shareholder before a common shareholder. So preference shares can be seen as a cross between an equity and a bond. And then what is our mutual fund? So our mutual fund is comprised of a large group of investors who pool their investment capital together and present it to a company to invest it on their behalf. This sum of money is then used to buy a variety of stock. Mutual funds also usually can be desired for long-term investments. So what are corporate bonds? You might ask as well. So corporate bonds indicates lending your money. No, this is you having your money, but you still want more, and it can be put to other use. So you take your money now and you present it to a corporation for a period of time, and premium must also be paid by the company borrowing your money, just like how you would have to pay them to borrow their money. They have to do the same for you. So the interest payments are usually made out semi-annually until the maturity date is reached on a mutual fund. But before spending your money, before a family should consider spending their money, there are three questions I always advise my investors to think about. Who is issuing the bonds that you're spending the money on? What is the interest rate? When will the money be repaid? So are you going to take it fortnightly, monthly, quarterly, annually? How are you going to do it? So why is it important for us to invest, invest, or families to invest? So gone are the days really when people used to rely on savings and partners, which a lot of us still do. We put our money into partners and say, we're putting it here because we want it. At the end of 1 year time, we have accumulated this amount of money to do something. In today's world, saving may not be adequate to ensure financial safety. Idle money keeping your saving in your hands or in your bank account or locker. Or I saw somebody on TikTok putting it into water bottles. I've never seen that yet. Every day at the end of the day, she put like a $50, whatever she comes home after coming off the road, she roll it up tight with elastic and she put it into the 5-gallon water bottle. And people have these all these ideas. So gone are the days when these type of saving can help us to meet our needs. It is clear from fact mentioned above that just earning money and keeping it idle is not enough. It would help you if you made your money work hard for you. And how do you do that? By investing. Every family needs to put aside something for investing. Investing, allocating money in different asset classes with the intention of capital appreciation and earning better returns in the long term is the best for any family. Investing ensures that you present a future financially secured future for you and your family. It allows you to grow your wealth and at the same time guarantee you inflation beating return. So the inflation is so high, but you have something put aside to match that inflation. You should also benefit from the power of compounding. As I was saying to someone earlier today, you invest something, you get back a return, you don't have to spend it. Put it back on what you initially invest. That is compounding, so you get a higher return. Furthermore, investments have the potential to meet your financial goals, such as assets, such as emergency saving, college fund, you have your children, home ownership, providing the financial stability a family needs to create a quilt of resources that turns children's dreams into plan. Gone are the days when parents don't plan for their children's future. Our children must have a better future than us. So we need to plan for that. We need to set them, give them a right setting, and investment can do that. So, every family should be thinking about investing in one way or the other. There are so many different things on the investment portfolios on the market. We have the Jamaica Stock Exchange, we have the REITA, we have the Sagicor Fund. We have a number of investment options that as a family you can choose to invest in to make your financial life, your future, better. And I do hope that there's something that the family listening on this program can take away from to make their financial future more stable, so that if an emergency come up, sickness come up, something is there. So that's when your children reach 18 and need to go to college, something is there. So, my panelists, I hope what I presented tonight was very informative and that somebody can take from it and go out tomorrow and say, all right, let me talk to my bank about how can I invest. You can even start from as low as $1 per share, $100 per share. So talk to your investor, talk to your bank, and take it from there. I thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Blake. What you talking about, Miss Blake? This was more than informative. You hear about the different, investments that you can make, preferred share, corporate bonds, mutual fund. Those are some of the types of investments that you can make.
Yes,
That don't want you to make the listeners believe that partner is obsolete, Miss Blake. Partner
No,
is
it
still
is. It
alive
will
and
never be
well.
obsolete, but there can be more.
That is
It can never
true.
be obsolete.
That is
Use
true,
the
because
money that you save from the partner and invest it.
true, Miss Blake, because you see the partner, you're just
Yes,
getting in back what you put in. But when you
yes.
invest, you can
You're
get,
getting more.
you're getting more.
Exactly.
So I agree with you. So thank you so much, Miss Blake. Now I want to speak with my social worker on the panel here, Miss Tashel Christian. I need you to tell us, how investment can strengthen families, because you come across families, individuals, each and every day. So how is it that you advise them about investment and how it can strengthen and build their families, especially their Christian life as well?
Yes, thank you very much, Kimisha, for having me again. Once again, it's always a pleasure to be a panelist on this riveting and, of course, informative talk show with you, lovely ladies. Now, I must say, from my fellow panelists, she just definitely shared a lot of information that I myself am thinking of taking of some of her offers. Now, when I think of investment, I look at the correlation based on the topic. The topic is investment strengthens families and builds a firm Christian life. And what came to mind is, what's the correlation? What is the correlation between the key components of that topic? Investment, family, Christian life. And of course, from my vantage point, what came to mind is the individual, the person, the individual that decides to invest, the individual that is a part of a family, the individual that chooses to live a Christian life. So at the end of the day, it all comes down to what the morals and values are of that particular individual. Now, tonight, I will definitely be focusing on how investing time definitely builds identity and basically develops identity. Now, investment in a family gives us an identity, which is, of course, very important for all of us. Along with helping our children, spending time with the family also helps us to grow personality, be unique in our own ways. Albert Bandura's social learning theory emphasizes the necessity of observing, modeling, and what we would call mimicking others, behaviors, attitude, and of course, by extension, their emotional reactions. What I see in the field a lot of the times when you're dealing with maladaptive behaviors in children, you realize that it's because of whatever environment that they were in from the basic micro stage. And when I say micro, I mean their immediate family, what they were exposed to from a tender age growing up. Now, I say this to say children, and not only children, but adults, focusing on children though, they mimic what they see happening around them. If I should bring myself back to when I was a child, I did not grow up in one of the best environments in my earlier years, and it definitely impacted me in a negative way. Thank goodness for puberty and maturity. I was able to decipher what I wanted to do, and I got some positive role models that, of course, according to Bandura social learning theory, I definitely mimicked their behavior and realized that it was a better way if I needed to improve my situation. So investing time in family is definitely crucial. It also helps you to identify characteristics and behavior patterns of your children that you yourself experience as a child growing up. Now, we live in a world right now where we are definitely more involved in spending more time on social media, being so what the word that I'm looking for is you're just being so involved in the media where you're segregating from the reality. And we need in-person interactions to reap the full benefits of social connection. Those who experience less loneliness cultivate meaningful relationships, including social network and a committed relationship. So, of course, investment, and I must reiterate, in family gives us identity, which is so very important for all of us.
Oh, thank you there, Miss Christian. You know, you made a very important point. You brought out investment in a different light. Like you took it out of the box and you put it in a different light, because I've never thought about it that investment in families help one to develop identity. I'm sure many of the persons listening may not have thought about it that way, but I want to thank you so much for that, Miss Christian. That has brought a different spin on the word investment. Now, I'm going to be speaking with the theologian, Miss Elizabeth Wright, because investment strengthens families and builds strong Christian life. And I'd like to hear her views as a theologian, how this can work. Miss Wright?
It's a pleasure to be on this program, Ms. Davis. Thanks for having me. As a theologian, my duty is to guide the people according to Matthew 25:29. To those who use well what they are given, even more will be given, and they will have an abundance. But those who do nothing, even what little they have will be taken away. I would just like Christians to know we should invest in the spiritual aspect of life. This is in the context of the church. The Lord demonstrates that He has designed us to have a relationship with Him. He makes it clear to us that we are invited to make investment in each other's life, and that none of us can grow spiritually mature without investment being made in us through the spiritual giftings of other believers. When we speak about building firm Christian relationship, isn't that what God desires to have with us? Through faith in Christ Jesus, we are given access to the throne of God according to Hebrews 4:16. God indicate the types of relationship and the nature of the relationship He desires to have. Suffice it to say, biblically investing principle that God wants us, His children, to prosper in every way possible, including our finances. When you follow these biblical principles, you will not only grow, but your wealth and your financial legacy will also grow in every other area of your life. Also, you will find incredible wisdom about how to grow your money wisely while keeping your relationship with God in good standing. Then the Bible says nothing shall be denied, said the Lord. There and then the Lord will enable your financial aspect to prosper. When you invest your wealth and other resources for the kingdom of God, or spiritual, financial, and other blessings will keep increasing. Furthermore, apart from spiritual investment, Christians can learn the different investment programs that they can benefit For example, the elderly, the sick, and also the children are able to benefit from this program. You have the Kuna investment, where the credit union association cater for the needs of low-income persons. So persons can go in and talk to an agency about the family indemnity plan, the education grant, and the golden harvest, and many more options are there. But also remember, we are investing spiritually according to Proverbs 21:20 that says, save up for a rainy day, put in your money to work and let it multiply. It is a wise thing to do. That's it for me, Miss Davis.
Thank you so much, Miss Wright. Thank you so much. And as you have said, it is very important that we invest spiritually, because as Christians, especially Christians, we need to, invest our children, our families, our extended families spiritually. We need to create such a bond between ourselves and them, that a bond that cannot be broken. So we need to invest in these relationships, and especially
God first in everything you do.
Right. So it's very important that we invest in our families, invest in spiritually with Christ. That's very important. Now, what I'm going to do, we'll be taking a break and we will be right back. Don't move.
Here are the 5 things you need in order to start investing: TRN, ID, proof of address such as a utility bill, source of income such as payslips or job letter, and 2 character references. People ask me all the time how they can start investing. These are what you need in order to open an investment account at any of the 13 licensed brokerage firms in Jamaica. And you can get a full list of all the firms and find out which one might be best for your situation at KalilaReynolds.com/newsletter. It's free once you subscribe. Also take my Investing for Beginners masterclass at KalilaReynolds.com/masterclass. Let's get this money.
Welcome back, where we are zoning in on your dose of fresh thoughts. And our topic is investment strengthen families and build a strong Christian life. Now, I'm going to be speaking with my other panelist, Miss Christine Williams-Gray. She is a relationship counselor. Now, Miss Christine Gray, I need you to share your thoughts on investment strengthens families and build a strong Christian life, because you would have come across many relationships in your line of work.
Yes. Thank you very much for having me here tonight. I do appreciate being back on your show. And as it pertaining to investing in your family, one of the areas that I recommend couples and family to invest in is a good quality communication skill. You find that many times a family breakdown, or you find that person gets separated or divorced. And when you get down into the nitty-gritty, you find that there was always signs of issues. And these signs that I'm talking about, you find that one partner has trouble expressing how he feels or she feels to the other partner. And you find that another sign is that they may have unresolved issues. And what person tend to do is that something may come up and it may rub you the wrong way. And then you say, okay, let's just not overlook that. And you find that a lot of these issues get pushed underneath the rug, right? You find that one of the signs that there may be a communication breakdown is find that one partner is withdrawing or feel criticized, or some kind of interaction breaking down in the quality of the relationship that they used to have. And you find that one of the biggest thing they have issue deciding together any little thing is an issue making a decision. Oh, this partner does not want that. This partner does not want that. Just basic stuff. And when you get down in it, quality of the communication. And a lot of couples do not spend time investing, understanding the silent communication, the verbal communication, the emotional communication. There's various different levels within this communication umbrella that a lot of couples do not understand and do not spend time knowing how is it that their partner communicate. They may not use much verbal language, but they'll use a lot of gestures just to show you the hint that there may be an issue, or I may be offended by this, or I am offended by this. And if it's that you want to invest in financing, invest in a family, and wherever you choose to branch off within your relationship, the root of the tree starts from a good communication. You cannot have a tree without a root, and the root is quality communication. Quality communication skills, and that quality communication skills can only be developed by investing time. I do understand that some relationship move faster than some, but within that pace that you are moving, remember, there cannot be a relationship, a long, healthy relationship or a family without communication. A lot of these families tend to have, you say that poor family structure or problematic family structure. And you find that the children are disputing behavioral issues. And when you do, it comes back to it, communication. It all started with lack of communication. Nobody's expressing all they feel. Everybody's holding in or withdrawing. So I always encourage families and couples, invest in a proper and healthy communication. That's all I have to say for tonight. I do appreciate being here, and I thank you for inviting me here once again.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Williams-Gray. Thank you so much for that. Now, I've noticed that a lot of the topics that we discuss on this talk show, there's emphasis placed on communication. I mean, for the last 3 episodes, we have been speaking about communication and how important it is. So Mrs. Christina Williams-Gray is also emphasizing that, investing time to know the person in the relationship, to know the persons that you're in relationship with, investing time to communicate with them, to share your thoughts with them. These are all important, and these are all ways of investment. I know that an investment always concerns the outlay of some capital. So for example, time and effort, money, or an asset in hopes of, a greater payout in the future. So even in relationship, when you invest in there, you're hoping to have, a solid relationship going forward. When you invest in your children, you're hoping that they will find a good job when they're done. Many of us will look at them as our pension or our, retirement fund, because we're expecting them to come out to something good and look after us. So investment really concerns, laying out some capital for future purposes to get back something. Now I have a caller on the line, and we want to hear what she has to say. Go ahead, caller.
Hi, good night.
Thanks for having me. I want to say that I highly appreciate this program. I try not to miss this. Every week, I am tuned in. It is very, very informative. And I must say, I like this topic. And as someone said earlier, normally when you hear investment, what you're thinking about is money. But I'm happy how this program has looked at it in various ways. It has touched on the family, and I see where it has touched on our spirituality. And as a Christian, that is very, very important to me. Like growing up in church, it's always a spiritual man that is being addressed, never the physical man. So I really, really appreciated the physical part that the theologian introduced. And especially in this time when we're experiencing COVID, you know that our finances are highly affected by this. So, I really appreciate the information that was brought forth. And thanks again, and keep up the good work. All right.
Thank you so much, Carla. Thank you so much. Guys, I wish we could stay longer, but we are out of time. But I wanted to join us next time where we will be zoning in on your dose of fresh thoughts. I hope you have taken the points, you have written them down, and you will now try to invest in your relationship, in your families, in your children. I mean, there are simple ways that you can invest in family, by simply eating dinner together with your family, putting your kids to bed and reading them a story, celebrate everything, any and everything. Those are things that you can invest in concerning your family and your relationships. So guys, join us again, as I said before, next time where we'll be zoning in on your dose of fresh thoughts. Good night. Thank you for coming, everyone.